Hello, I'm Daniel Stewart. I'm a postdoc investigator at the Catholic University of Valparaiso. I recently received a 3-year grant from the Chilean government to study the 1730 and 1751 earthquakes through historical text. I'll be looking at their rupture zones, intensity, geographical overlap, and coastal deformation. As a project goals, we also have to review and correct the historical seismic information for the Maui segment from 1570 to 2010, and also to locate and define seismic overlap on the segment's northern and southern borders. Also to convert historical damage reports into usable scientific data, and locate and analyze hidden references to co-seismic coastal deformation from within colonial court cases. How will we locate and define examples of seismic overlap along the boundaries of the Maui segment? Possible examples could be the 1570 Concepcion, 1575 Valdivia earthquakes, or the 1641 Level and 1657 Concepcion earthquakes, or the 1730 Valparaiso and 1751 Concepcion earthquakes. In order to analyze these sets of earthquakes, we will do 3 steps: archive research, historical publications, and scientific publications. The purpose of archive research is to locate earthquake reports from new locations in order to better define the damage zones. Also to increase the number and type of sources from key peripheral sites and coastal installations. Also confirm or reject previously known historical sources. Also locate references of coastal deformation attributed to seismic events. And lastly, place sources into the correct historical context. As of right now, in step 1 results, we have to locate new historical sources for over a dozen earthquakes, many of which allow us to place the earthquake in different locations and better understand the intensity at those locations. Also in step 2, we've had a series of articles published. In 2019, the article Historical Tsunamis in the Penco Bay as seen in the reconstructed run-ups from the city of Concepcion, Chile, 1570 to 1835 was published. In this article, we used historical text to analyze where each of the tsunamis that affected the town of Penco, which originally was Concepcion, in colonial times. So we had to use court cases where the owners of the different properties said whether or not the tsunami reached them. These allowed us to recreate a run-up map for each of the tsunamis that affected the town of Penco from 1570 to 1835. Also, we did a published article recalibrating the July 8th, 1730 Valparaiso, Chile earthquake, giving historical context to primary sources. This article analyzes a series of primary sources that have generated confusion about the earthquake in order to better understand the information they were given. In part of the article, we analyzed the intensity that was felt in each of the locations, and at the same time, tsunami reports and tsunami damage in order to better understand this earthquake. In December of this year, another article will be published that's called the 1657 Concepcion, Chile earthquake, a colonial analog for the Maui 2010 earthquake. In this article, we used previously unknown historical sources to better define the damage zones for the 1657 earthquake, and at the same time, compare the 1657 earthquake and the 2010 earthquake, showing that the reported damage for the 1657 earthquake is very similar to that recorded in 2010. At the same time, a source book will be published in Concepcion that contains the historical information that demonstrates where everybody lived in Concepcion, which was part of what we used to study the tsunamis in Concepcion. There's also other historical papers that are in the process of either review or in the draft stage, which is one about the 1730 earthquake, where we look at individuals who participated or were in Concepcion during the earthquake and tsunami. Also one about 1751 earthquake that tries to show the rupture zone and the political fallout from the earthquake, and another one that shows what happened in the Colchagua salt works during the 1751 earthquake. When it comes to the historical scientific results, right now we are finishing the data set for the 1751-2010 earthquakes that will allow us to compare the intensity of the 2010 earthquake by comuna with what we found in the historical text for the 1751 earthquake. Also, we're finishing analysis of the Maui earthquake segment, which looks at each of the earthquakes from 1570 to 2010 in order to better define them for future publications. Also, at the same time, we're looking at the vertical changes in coastal deformation in the Colchagua salt works and the 1849 Coquimbo earthquake and tsunami. At the same time, we participated in community outreach, giving presentations on the results of the of this investigation. As of right now, I've done presentations in the Concepcion Municipal Library, the Penco Historical Museum, the Institute of Estudios Históricos, the Vive la Genealogía group, and the Laboratory of Estudios Coloniales. Thank you very much.